Greetings. This message is specifically for my family, friends, and students. I did not choose politics. Politics chose me. And when I think about politics, I have all the reasons to say no to this. Every reason to say no to this. Especially knowing that I have to sacrifice my privacy. I love my privacy. I believe the best things that you can experience are in private. When I spend time with my children, I'm the happiest. I don't have to broadcast that on social media. And knowing that I have committed to this journey, I know that I knew I had to give up that. But before I even committed to this journey, the first person I had to consult with was my wife. I asked her thoughts on it. She said to me, if anyone is going to do it, it will be you. No, I had to ask again because sometimes your partner can be biased, so they fear. And she said she knew what it is and she's ready. And that is so because I decided that I'm going to be the president since I was 13. When I was 13, my mom died and I became an orphan. And many persons counted me out and said I will become a wayward. I can't blame these people for saying that because based on stats of not having an adult, you can spiral. But I saw myself as being more, not just for myself, but for people like myself, or even in worse situations. For a very long time, I've kept my story private. Not because I'm ashamed of where I'm coming from or ashamed of who I am, but because of who people are. The worst thing someone can do to me is to give me pity. And being an orphan in my teenage age, people be like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry for you, nigga, no more, no more, daddy." And I didn't want that energy because I didn't see myself as fortunate. I never treated myself as fortunate, and I felt that if I'm going to be an inspiration, I have to do it big. And I don't believe that the thought of presidency came to me artificially because that had to be a spiritual force. And throughout my teenage age or stage, I would have moved a lot. Call myself the nomad, moving from place to place. I had many opportunities to become wayward, but knowing what I was working towards kept me grounded. And that is so important, especially for young people. You have to know where you're going. Um, when you know where you're going, the path becomes clearer. When I look at what's happening in Guyana, it's a tough situation for many. And when I think about myself and my family, there was no need for me to be in Guyana, especially under these circumstances. But with any great thing, you have to make sacrifice. The people that are close to me know what this is. And if I'm not to be, if I don't deserve to be the president, the people closest to me would be the best persons to say why. Especially my wife, when she said that if anyone's going to do it, it's me. Like that's a person that sees me. I can dress up, I can come looking nice and fresh. Ultimately, the man who I am behind closed door is a true reflection of my character. I I'm not in this for personal gain. I'm not in this to get a title. I don't need it. I don't need love. And I'm at a point where I don't need to convince people why this is important because this is not about me. This is about us. When you look around at the challenges that we are enduring, this is a solution. Like if there's a better solution to the challenges, I am all ears. But to speak today, I didn't. I just couldn't speak. I had to earn my way. I just didn't. I can't say, oh, I'm going to the presidency and I can't govern myself. If you can't take care of the small things, ain't no way you can take care of the big things. And for a man to lead, he first have to lead himself, first have to govern himself. And to be sitting here today talking to you, it's been a journey. And I sometimes refrain from talking my story because people know it. And this is an opportunity for people to talk about it. I'm outside. Because politics is a dirty game, I know that people are going to do their digging. And if anyone is to tell my story, it will be me. And that is the reason why I decided to write my book, because that's me telling my story. I felt that writing my book in advance to this announcement that people will be inspired. People are people. And if I have to tell my story 1,000 times to contribute to the betterment of Guyana, so be it. Politicians, like you can't trust politicians. I know that for sure. And I am not a politician. I said I didn't choose this. Politics is built on deceit. Who has the best say? Who have the best lie? Dress it up. But my approach with my team, it's built on truth. It's built on integrity. And I see that the word integrity is being thrown around a lot. Guyana needs integrity. Guyana needs accountability. Guyana needs transparency. And when I think about the position we're in currently, it's so critical for us to pay attention. It's so critical for us to invest our time into what's happening currently in our country. The reason why struggles are so prevalent is because we don't pay attention. And not because we don't want to pay attention, because people are constantly trying to navigate their own challenges. Who has time for politics? But as I often say, politics determine the quality of life you live. And oftentimes we talk about the problem, and it's not a conversation where we talk about solution, but this is an opportunity for us to talk about solution because this is a solution. And if you look around and you say that this is the best for Guyana, there would be no need for me. In fact, if I felt that the government was doing what they're supposed to do, if I felt the opposition was strong enough, if I felt the small parties possess the leaders that we need, definitely say no to this. Uh, and and this is it. I am public now. People who think that I don't deserve this, they have a right to say. But it shouldn't be strangers. It should be my family, my friends, my students, because ultimately these people know who I am. And people can put on a costume, but eventually it comes off. People telling themselves. There is much to say. However, I want to keep this short, keep a brief introduction. Uh, when I thought about the name of my political party, before I even get to that name, when I consider politics, it would have been easier to join a big party, as people say, big party. But if you align yourself with corruption, you will be corrupted. That's what it is. Show me your friends and I tell you who you are. And because I need this to be built with integrity, I decided to form my own party. Not because I'm not willing to work with people, but because of the principles that I stand on. Additionally, I am governed by a Bible principle which says, what does it profit a man to gain the world and loses his soul? I'm not here to gain fame, likes, clout. I'm not here for it. Because what's important to me is my peace of mind, my soul. And though I reference the Bible, I must make it known that I'm not a religious person. In fact, I don't believe in religion. I do believe that there's a superior force because when I think about my life, a superior force had to be with me to be here today. And back to the name, when I considered the name, I felt that the name should reflect what we need to embrace, and that is to be a united people. Hence, the name of the party, Unified People's Party. Because if we are going to bring about the change that we need to collaborate. We need to be together. Politics is about division, divide and conquer, and it's a formula that has been winning all the time. People say politics, we get into politics, all politicians are the same, and you can understand why. But this is an opportunity for us to change the narrative, not just for ourselves, but for our children. And our party is built on principles and policies that will create the environment for our children to flourish. What, what is more beautiful than that? When I think about my children, I can do the best as a father, as a parent, but ultimately my children would be in the world and they would come into contact with people. And I would love for them to come into contact with good people. When you look around, it's hard to trust people. And on the topic of trust, I was never afraid of the enemy. I know what the enemy is capable of. But what I've learned is that I don't need to look out for the enemy. What I need to look out for is the people beside me, the people that say that they love me and support me. Because betrayal never comes from strangers. And the story of Jesus and Judas speak for itself. Even to the story of Coffee, he wanted to change, and his own brother betrayed him. Now that we're here, There's so many things to talk about, but I felt that it's only fair for me to give a glimpse of myself and my story. And I would love for my family and friends and students to say what they believe of me and what they see that's happening in Guyana. For now, I want you guys to know that I'm excited. I'm at peace. If I wasn't at peace, I wouldn't be doing this. It's not worth it. And I'm happy. I'm happy because greater things are coming. Greater things are going to happen. And I am excited to work along with amazing people, and the results will speak for itself. Thank you.